The Uber smelled faintly of weed and lemon air freshener. Aisha Moore rested her forehead against the cool window and watched the familiar streets of River Oaks slide past like a movie she no longer belonged in. 10 days ago she had been the queen of this zip code. Tonight she was a ghost with a cracked iPhone, one carry-on, and a heart that felt like someone had taken a box cutter to it. The driver slowed in front of the iron gates she had picked out herself 5 years ago. Bronze lions, custom forged in Marrakesh. She still had the invoice saved in her email. The driver asked. This the right house? She paid him in cash, 3 crumpled 20s she'd found in the bottom of her purse, and dragged her suitcase up the curved driveway. The motion sensor lights didn't come on. That should have been the first warning. She pressed her thumb to the biometric pad beside the front door. Nothing. Not even a red error light. Just dead. She rang the bell. Once. Twice. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. The door opened 6 inches, security chain still hooked. Jamal stood there in the half-light wearing nothing but gray sweatpants riding low on his hips. The hallway behind him glowed soft gold, the way it always did when the Murano chandelier was on. In the background, music, Sade, No Ordinary Love, the song that played the night he proposed. His eyes flicked over her like she was a solicitor. "You're early," he said. Aisha opened her mouth, but no words came. Because Diamond with the waist-length Malaysian and the verified blue check, was padding down the hallway in Aisha's own La Perla robe, the blush-pink one with the ostrich feather trim that had cost more than most people's rent. Diamond stopped when she saw Aisha, tilted her head, and smiled the way cats do when they know the canary is already missing feathers. "Babe," Diamond called, voice syrupy, "tell the help we already gave at the office." Jamal didn't laugh. He didn't have to. The message was clear. Aisha found her voice. "My key isn't working." "Because I changed the locks," he said, calm as Sunday morning. "We'll talk outside." He stepped onto the porch and closed the door behind him so she couldn't see inside her own house. The click of the deadbolt sounded final. They stood under the porch light. Mosquitoes danced in the halo. "Jamal," she said, hating how small her voice sounded. "What is this?" He reached into the pocket of his sweats and pulled out a thick manila envelope, tossed it at her feet like trash. "Divorce papers. Already signed. You'll find the settlement generous." Generous. $20,000 and a one-way plane ticket back to New Orleans if she promised never to contest anything. "Everything is in my name or the company's," he continued. "You signed the prenup, remember? You leave with what you came in with." "Nothing," she whispered. He gave her the smile he used to give investors right before he closed a deal. "Exactly." Security, 2 men she had baked Christmas pies for, appeared from the side of the house. They didn't meet her eyes. One of them muttered, "We'll need you to step off the property now." They walked her down the driveway like a criminal. The gates closed behind her with the finality of a prison door. She didn't remember the walk to the bench outside Starbucks, didn't remember sitting down, only remembered the moment her phone died and the world went truly dark. That was when she opened the wallet Jamal had thrown into her suitcase like an afterthought. $37 in cash, a dead Sephora gift card, and something else, tucked behind her Spelman ID from senior year. A plain white debit card, edges soft from years of being forgotten. Texas Heritage Bank and Trust. 5th Ward Federal Credit Union. The logo was so old it was almost faded. Her father's voice, gravel and honey. "If the world ever tries to drown you, baby girl, this here is your lifeboat. Don't open it till you sink in it." She had laughed at him then. Thought it was one of his country superstitions. She was 18, headed to college, in love with the idea of love. She had folded the card into her wallet and never thought of it again. Until tonight. She slept in the 24-hour laundromat on Westheimer, head on her suitcase, clutching the card like a talisman. At 4:47 a.m. she was on the first 82 bus headed downtown, watching the city wake up. Texas Heritage opened at 8. She was waiting at the door when Ms. Valerie turned the key. The lobby hadn't changed in 20 years. Same green carpet, same plastic ficus tree, Same portrait of the founder who looked like somebody's strict uncle. The teller, Marcus, took one look at the card and disappeared into the back. 5 minutes later Ms. Valerie herself came out, face unreadable. Aisha Moore. Yes, this way. They locked the front door, turned the sign to closed, drew every blind. Ms. Valerie didn't sit. She stood behind her desk like she was afraid to touch anything. That card, she began, voice low, isn't a regular debit card. It's the master key to E.J. Moore Holdings, LLC. Your daddy set it up in 2003 and never touched it again. Aisha laughed. One sharp, broken sound. My daddy drove a Frito-Lay truck. That's what he wanted Houston to believe, Ms. Valerie said. She turned her monitor around. The screen showed an organizational chart. At the top, E.J. Moore Holdings, LLC. Beneath it, layers of subsidiaries, deeds, stock certificates, mineral rights, warehouse titles, trucking companies, cold storage facilities, raw land in Katy, Walla, Fort Bend. The appraised value at the bottom made the room tilt. $87 million. And change. There was also a letter, handwritten on yellow legal paper, sealed with the same tape her daddy used on birthday presents. My dearest Aisha. If you reading this, somebody done showed you that love can lie. I prayed every night on my knees that you'd never need what I left. But I watched your mama cry too many times over men who swore forever and meant until. I couldn't leave you defenseless. This money ain't for shoes or trips. It's oxygen. Breathe, baby girl. Then build something nobody can take. Not a husband. Not a judge. Not time. I love you bigger than these Texas skies. Daddy. She read it twice. Then a third time. They came silent, sliding off her chin onto the marble. Ms. Valerie handed her a box of Kleenex and a black American Express Centurion card already embossed with her name. Welcome home, Miss Moore. The first week she disappeared. Checked into the Post Oak Hotel under her mother's maiden name, paid cash for 90 days, ordered room service crab cakes and fell asleep in a bed that didn't smell like betrayal. She didn't answer the door when Jamal's mother called the front desk crying. Didn't open the texts from mutual friends asking if the rumors were true. She cut her hair the way she'd always wanted but Jamal said looked too aggressive. Dyed it honey blonde. Bought 3 new suits, black, ivory, and a deep blood red that made her feel like vengeance had a dress code. Then she made the call. Reed Carver. Cold voice. No greeting. I need the meanest corporate raider in the state of Texas, she said. Money is irrelevant. He met her in the hotel bar at midnight. 6'2", green eyes, biracial, cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass. Former Goldman Sachs. Now the man billionaires hired when they wanted someone erased without a trace. She slid the E.J. Moore Holdings file across the table. I want to learn how to make a man feel what homeless tastes like, she said. Legally. Reed Carver smiled for the first time all year. Miss Moore, he said, you just became my favorite client. They worked 18-hour days in the suite. Reed brought a team of 5, forensic accountants, private investigators, a former Harris County ADA who now made 10 times his old salary breaking companies instead of prosecuting them. They mapped Jamal's empire the way generals map enemy territory. They found the shell companies in the Caymans, the secret apartment on Kirby he kept for Diamond, the building permits he'd bought with envelopes of cash, the concrete tests that had been forged, the subcontractors he'd stiffed for years, the text messages where he laughed about how Aisha would never notice the missing money because she was too busy being supportive. They waited. Jamal, meanwhile, was high on his own supply. With Aisha gone, he moved Diamond in permanently, threw parties that made the Chronicle's society page, announced his next big project, King's Court, a 500-acre luxury development in Katy. He needed investors yesterday. His credit was stretched thin keeping Diamond in G-Wagons and Goyard. Then, out of nowhere, the seller of the perfect 500-acre tract agreed to meet. Jamal walked into the conference room on the 52nd floor expecting some old white oil family in boots and Stetsons. Instead Aisha sat at the head of the table in the blood-red suit, legs crossed, Reed standing behind her like a beautiful hitman. Jamal, meanwhile, was high on his own supply. With Aisha gone, he moved Diamond in permanently, threw parties that made the Chronicles Society page, announced his next big project, King's Court, a 500-acre luxury development in Katy. He needed investors yesterday. His credit was stretched thin, keeping Diamond in G-Wagons and Goyard. Then, out of nowhere, the seller of the perfect 500-acre tract agreed to meet. Jamal walked into the conference room on the 52nd floor expecting some old white oil family in boots and Stetsons. Instead, Aisha sat at the head of the table in the blood-red suit, legs crossed, Reed standing behind her like a beautiful hitman. The color drained from Jamal's face so fast she almost felt sorry for him. Almost. Aisha. Mrs. Moore is dead, she said calmly. You buried her the night you changed the locks. He tried everything. Charm, rage, tears, promises. She let him burn through all of it while Reed laid out the new reality. E.J. Moore Holdings had quietly purchased every note Jamal owed. $8 million in vendor debt, private loans, mechanics liens. All of it now belonged to her. You have 72 hours, she said, standing. After that, we start seizing. He couldn't raise it. Banks laughed. Investors ghosted. His father wouldn't take his calls. On day 4, the marshals showed up at the River Oaks house at 6 a.m. Diamond opened the door in Aisha's robe, screaming as deputies slapped red stickers on Italian marble and Baccarat crystal. Jamal tried to run out the back in Versace slides and was tackled on the Zorizir grass while the neighbors filmed on their phones. By noon the video was everywhere. River Oaks king dethroned, side chick carried out crying. Diamond's brand deals evaporated by 3 p.m. Her follower count started dropping like a stone. Jamal's company folded in weeks. The DA opened 3 investigations. The concrete on 2 of his buildings tested below code. He faced criminal charges. Aisha never went to court. Didn't need to. She renamed the 500 acres Elijah's Garden. Broke ground a year to the day after she was thrown out. The first phase, 400 affordable homes with granite counters and hardwood floors, priced below market for teachers, nurses, single mothers. A clinic named after her grandmother. A trade school teaching welding, plumbing, trades her father always said were recession-proof. She stood on the hill in a white linen dress, sun on her face, and cut the ribbon herself. Reed stood behind her in a navy suit, no tie, eyes soft in a way they never were in boardrooms. A reporter asked who she was dedicating it to. She smiled, real this time, wide and unafraid. To every woman who ever got told she walked into a room empty-handed, she said. Turns out some of us were carrying the whole damn deed in our back pocket the entire time. The cameras flashed. Somewhere, Elijah Moore was laughing that big belly laugh, proud as the Texas sky is wide. And Aisha? She finally exhaled.